Hey everybody, coming to you today just saying hey. Apologize for the eye. I did get hit last week and it's showing itself, but we're okay. Everything's fine. I wanted to really dive into this idea of org levels, excuse me. We've mentioned it before in the sense that in your values assessment forms, you need to be sure that you are addressing the level of the person. The levels start low, meaning that your number one level is associates, and as you go up from there, you have your leaders, then you have your directors, then you have your C-suite, and then you have your CEO. Bigger organizations will have more levels, but it's important to have the level established within the organization. And the reason for that is because the expectations change. Your expectations across the same level are pretty much similar, but as a director, you're at least at a level 3, maybe you're in the C-suite, whatever, but you're going to establish expectations, and that's a little bit different than the job description, right? The expectations are against the values, the job description are against the actions, the things that they're going to be doing. So while you're going to have the job descriptions, you're also going to establish those values and you're going to establish expectations. I mean, for example, if I were to tell you customer service, we use this one often as our example. What you expect at a customer service level for your entry-level green associates versus what you expect from your director level in terms of customer service should be appropriately very different. So establishing those levels and establishing an understanding of that and making sure that the people in that level are aligned. So in other words, this is also a build of a competency. If you're a director, you need to make sure that all the leaders underneath you have a same general understanding of what it means to have a customer service at a level 2. Let's call it a level 2. And they also need to understand what they should be doing with their level 1 employees, right? Now you may break those up a little bit more, but I think that the smaller amount of higher organizational levels is better, because then you're going to get into this sub-level idea, and that is that if I'm an engineer or I'm an accountant, something like that, there is of course 3 to 5 sub-levels within that, promotability levels, if you want to call it that. So the idea being that if I come in and I'm doing well, I can be promoted, and then I can get to, if I come in as a junior, then I can become a mainstream or just an engineer. Just kind of depends on how you guys call it. I might have a junior and then a regular engineer and then a senior engineer. I might even go up to a principal engineer. Just kind of depends on the way your organization is set up. But the point is, you need to be able to promote them through those levels for perhaps their career, because maybe they won't have the competency of moving up to a different level within the organization. And that's okay. That's completely fine. But they do need to have the ability to promote. And when you think about this, if you really kind of break it down, you want to be able to kind of anticipate the norm, right? What would it look like for someone to be in an organization and be promoted if they were within your organization for their career? So they're there for 40 years, maybe 30, 35, something like that. If you're promoting every 5 years, then you need 6 levels within that in order to be able to support that promotability, okay? Now, not everybody's going to promote to all the way up, but the point being that they need the incentive of growth. Whenever you promote someone to the highest level, you've taken away that incentive for growth. So then you need to find something else to give them that incentive. Now, by that time, they're probably late in their career, and it may be sufficient for small wins and for maybe management opportunities, not leadership opportunities. Just depends on who they are. But the point is, you got to break this down and anticipate your organization and what it would look like to get there. The last thing I want to talk about is titles. Titles matter, okay? I think what happens is when people get into leadership, they all of a sudden realize that the titles of the people underneath them don't really matter, even though they still have this innate desire and understanding for their own title to matter. So it's in this weird dichotomy of people believing one thing for themselves but not for others. Titles matter, okay? Get them right. Make sure they're accurate, because people lean on them and everybody looks to them, right? If you are a director, you're going to be called from external organizations, everything like that. And if they don't have, they're going to be looking for the position that you have, and that matters. If you're an engineer, it matters to me whether or not I'm a junior engineer or I'm a senior engineer. And the more I get promoted, the more that matters. So I don't care if it matters to you. What matters is what it matters to a customer, how it matters to the receiver, I guess is the way I'm saying it. So in other words, you need to make sure that you are empowering your employees with the title that makes them feel appreciated and engaged in the work that they do, and it makes the people who are around them understand who they are within the organization. We all have a sense of pride that we need to reach into and support. And so titles matter, and you really need to engage that and stop being that guy that says they don't matter, because they do. All right? So with that, understanding your level is an important thing, because you're going to establish that on your values assessment, and you're going to make sure that you're measuring against it. And then making sure that you have sub-levels for appropriate promotability, and then making sure that titles matter. So hope you have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.